In this project, I'm focusing on the relationship between sound and touch perception, and how to manipulate people's perception through sound. I will put different materials on my body, make myself as an instrument. People create sound by touching different materials on my body. I'm an instrument. I made myself. I made myself as an instrument. I made myself as an instrument to be played, to be discovered, to be played, to be discovered, to be played, to be discovered. I'm an instrument with consciousness. I can give guidance as a notation. I can react as a human. Use my body, my voice, and my eyes. I make myself as an instrument. I make myself. I made myself as an instrument. I made myself as an instrument. I made myself. I made myself as an instrument like this. So, why I want to make this project? Because I'm very curious about people's reaction when they touch a body as an instrument. And I'm also very curious about my own reaction when I become an instrument which can be touched by different people. I created space, I made myself. I also can manipulate individual experience. I'm very curious about when people's perspective be manipulated, how will they feel? tinny dolphin. I'm an instrument. I made myself as an instrument, an object to be played, to be discovered.
Sorry? So I'm making a picture now as a PDF. So what I'm doing now is making a PDF. PDF. Exporteer. Yes, yes. So now I'm gonna make a JPEG. Exporteer to JPEG. Exporteer to JPEG. The fuck it's called? Pixels. Oh no, inches. I guess that's fine. Bureaublad. Like that, and then we do forftoning out. So what we do now is we open it again and we turn it. Beautiful. There you go. Now we are going to send it to here. Stel bureaublad in. Come on, you motherfucker, you. Ah, no.
Because Jaco, if I talk like this, it's quite nice, no? You hear something? Yeah, so if I talk like this, it's nice, no?
Why is the background not going? Yes, yes. So I'm talking now for no reason, other than to help you guys with sounds. Which, when I was a small child, I always worked at the festival, and there was always this guy that was like, mic check, and he would make up all these nice stories, which was kind of funny actually. And now I'm doing again this, opening this, moving it to the right. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna do this whole process again. We're gonna export to PDF. Next. Mnemas, exporteer. Beautiful. We're gonna remove it. We're gonna open this. And we're gonna save it as. No, we're gonna turn it first. 1, 2, 3. Archief. Exporteer. Exporteer. JPEG. Okay, so now we have the picture of it, which is cool. And then we can go stel bureaublad in. Boom.
Amos, let's see how we can do this.
So now it's cool.
So I can, because I don't, this is what I brought, I didn't bring a mic stand.
Yeah, no, for sure, that's fine. Yes.
If we had a second one of this, would be wonderful. But
Well, it's such an old one and it's nice. Anyway, if we had a second.
And then the one is gigantic. And then it needs to be in sync with time and space. There should be somebody, or when I have time and I want to work on it, then we're gonna work on it. Most of the time when it's just an idea, it's nice and I don't think too much about it. And then I can forget about it. And it's like seeing an old friend back.
You're back.
And once in a while, probably.
sterk man Aldo.
Ja,
Schroef dit ding eerst voor mij af.
ja. Een momentje.
But Jaco, I think it's good. If you put it here, it's good enough.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's gonna be, not gonna be too low?
No. It's already.
I'm a tall guy. Aldo is a tall guy as well.
We're just trying to see how high the microphone should be, because we have like a one mic stand and
I'm
two mic
not
stand.
moving extremely much, yeah?
I knew it.
That's so bad.
Yeah, that's gonna be difficult for every microphone.
Then just use this surround one that you
We're gonna move You're gonna swim?
No, but this is smart.
I mean, we can even, like, it's a weird solution, but we can even put this microphone next to a speaker.
No. What do you mean?
So we put this microphone next to the speaker of this
Oh,
microphone.
well, that's genius, man. That's genius.
When you showed the
Yeah, but that's genius. Actually.
yeah, you were wearing a beige suit. That night. Yes. That's it, how much
You motherfucker, you!
you try to invite somebody in.
Please can you talk and move?
Not right now. Actually,
No, not move a lot.
Oh, okay. But like, it's. I'm trying to figure out how this other screen will behave. Okay, that's good. That's good.
Okay.
And it's, you just, you don't know how it would, you know what it's about, but you don't know how you feel about it. That's
Especially here in art science, all the works are pretty much be there.
cool.
I think I'm gonna get a cup of coffee.
Lovely. I come with you. No, I want to go and get some stuff from upstairs, so I'll disappear, but I have my phone with me. Just let me know if you need me back, okay?
Yeah, cool.
We have to set up as well a laptop in a little bit.
Jij gaat die laptop neerknallen? Of ja? Wat je wil, hè? Ik heb deze voor je. En geluid. Geluid komt door die speakers. Dit is deze speakers.
Ja, ik heb een harddisk.
Je kan ook deze laptop gebruiken. Sorry.
Ja, dat is misschien, want jij gaat vanaf hier presenteren.
Ja.
Dat is
We hebben gewoon alleen de eerste 10 minuten en daarna, Marta introduceert jou en dan
So many changeovers.
changeovers.
Yes.
Do you know the planning?
No.
Shall we talk about the planning?
It's very smooth. Very smooth.
Wonderful.
We
No,
have-
let's not talk about the planning.
We have 5 minutes.
Let's live it.
We first have 5 minute talk, and then Taco comes on the screen, and he's like, "Welcome everybody," and then and then Marta's gonna say, introduce you.
I think
and then you do whatever you.
Great.
And I have also a.
And at the
thingy.
end, so, one point, we have both thingy is collecting questions. If there's anybody online who has questions, we'll also take their questions. That's
Hey, I saw you girls at the entrance.
yeah, I'm excited too.
I thought they were waiting for somebody, so I was like,
Yeah, we're trying to arrange some stuff, but unsuccessfully.
No, good.
Yeah.
You don't.
Today the person is not working who's allowed to touch them. So there's no
Just
person.
put it in the back.
It's okay. You
Yeah,
can use the
you
other
have no choice.
space. We only use the front space.
Yeah, I think so.
So the question is.
Anyway,
Make it nice.
okay, I'll be back.
Alright, see you guys. Ja, toch? Ja, vind ik ook. Klopt.
Kijk, alle dit gaat minder met de technische setting worden. Deze tafel kan ik leeg halen.
Sorry, wat?
Deze tafel kan ik leeg halen. Deze nog voor de pc en deze nog voor de camera. Er kunnen wel mensen op de camera heen zitten, maar dan werkt het niet uit. Heb je daar akkoord mee? Deze gaan we nu even kijken. Kunnen we dat ook doen? Ja, je moet echt de luisteren kunnen monitoren. En dat gaan we even gaan. Ja, gaan we even naar. Zo, makkelijk. Want nu moeten we niet anders maken dan ja. Ik heb dus deze ook.
We kunnen na de pauze, of voor de pauze, kunnen we nog samen kort wat zeggen. Dan geven we de practice doen en dan even verder lezen. En dan zitten we nog een beetje uit waar we zitten. Ja. Dus voor de pauze moeten we niet vergeten, want dat is wel belangrijk dat er geen verwarring ontstaat over waar mensen willen zijn of zo. Dat zou super kut zijn.
Ik heb nog een camera. Die kan ik nog ergens neerzetten. Ik stel zelf voor om die hier neer te zetten. Dat vind ik cool. Maar dit is voor puur voor de uitzending, hè? Dit is puur voor de tijd.
Ja, ja. Ja, is goed. Het is grappig, ik kan dus gewoon niet een Zoom nu hierheen slepen, naar dat bureaublad daar. Ach ja. Nou, dat kan wel. It's not really... It's not very big reveal of zo.
Is hier een verlengblok ingelegd, toch? Nee, nog niet. Laten we dat even doen. Ik kan ook een koffie gebruiken, vriend. Godverdomme.
Ja, man, je schrikt je rot als je mijn feedback leest van fucking Michiel, joh. Lijp. Holy hell. Sick, G. Sick.
Oké, is klaar? Gaan we even kijken.
Ben ik zet er dus. Wat moet ik kijken?
Even op mijn GoPro-schermpje kijken. Ik vind het zelf een heel cool view, maar ik vind het dat het stond.
Ik vind het super cool, volgens mij, denk ik.
Nee, cool.
Oké, nu hebben we eventjes nodig Gmail. Verzonden berichten naar alle leraren. Ontvangen.
Maar dit is voor de docenten straks, toch?
Ja.
En dan heb ik nu wel een YouTube-link voor je trouwens. Voor de livestream. Alleen moet ik hem aanschaken, anders zit hij bril. YouTube.
Sorry?
Ik zal mezelf wel. Echt super sick audio wilt hebben voor de documentatie, heb ik hier ook nog een clip aan. Ik weet niet of jullie die ook gebruiken.
Hier of zo, of wat?
Ja.
Nee, laten we lekker hierbij houden.
Ja?
Dan houden we het simpel, ja, sowieso man.
Ja, ik was vanochtend om 8 uur opgestaan. Ik dacht, ik neem gewoon alles mee wat ik heb. En dan zien we wel wat we mee gaan doen. Weet je wel.
Ja, ik denk vooral invite mute all more. Ask all to unmute.
Het is nu helemaal leeg.
Hey, hoe zorg ik ervoor dat allow participants to unmute themselves? If I disable waiting room, dan
Dan komen mensen vanzelf binnen.
vanzelf binnen, hè?
Ja.
You have disabled the waiting room.
Dan komen mensen vanzelf binnen.
Fantastisch.
Oh, één ding.
Kut. Ik heb een meeting gescheduled om 12 uur, maar daar ben ik nu al ingegaan. Betekent dat dat die tijd nu ingaat? Nee? Hoezo nee? Zeg maar
Als je
die
alleen bent, dan kost het sowieso geen tijd, toch?
Is dat zo?
Dat denk ik. Zo werkt het volgens mij. Maar misschien dat ik het niet zeg, kan.
Oké.
We can use the big gathering space. So she said that if you don't like that big thing there, she can just give us the key to the other room.
And put it in there.
No, we can't because it's too high to press.
But it's okay. Back.
We can't. It's also too high to put in the back.
Oh, really?
It's a sense. We can't all. Yeah, he said that you know in and out something like that.
So every separate one is on the TV and the table and one is on
Whoever knows if anybody wants to use the building, I don't think they want to do that.
No,
No one like
we won't use it.
so basically whole space is okay.
Whoever wants to can do it.
So we need that, but we need a table or something, right? See that problem.
No, the breakfast club is mostly good standing, standing up, talking about things.
I saw you don't want tables.
In the breakfast club, we don't want tables, right?
Huh?
We want tables in the breakfast club, no,
Do
right?
we have to put the tables out? Is it like a room?
You know who's gonna do their what, so...
No, it's not about that, it's about the audience.
Yes.
When they ask you for the audience, we want tables to sit down next to.
Is it like a
I think there's... Well, again, like, who is gonna play there?
Amos, Hannah, and Kyle.
No, Hannah's gonna go here. You're gonna go here, right?
I think I thought that
No,
everyone needs.
Mark and I think it's better to go there.
Okay, everything at the Breakfast Club? Okay. All right. But I think, so then, do people want to stand at your performance?
It's more a question of the table. Do they want to sit at the table or do they just want to sit?
I don't think that this make a lot of sense.
Do they move?
Make it how you want it to be. For your performance, yeah, just do that. So if all the tables have to go and only chairs, that's maybe a good idea. But have one table for you to present at or something. Make it how you wanna, yeah.
Is Sarah already there?
Yeah.
Great. Going there with Dino.
Oké. Ik ga even roken.
Heel goed. Ik hoop dat ik mee.
Gezellig. Oké, deze shit is helemaal geset op nu, dus
Ja.
My name is Aldo. I'm your host today.
And my name is Marta and I'm the moderator.
We just wanted to open with a short explanation about what the Manic Saturday is, because it's now a student-organized event with lectures, presentations, other activities that are organized around a communal lunch with the whole faculty. And which is now what the important thing is really that it's inclusive to all with art science students, other activities that are organized around organize, and that in the form of a host and moderator team. We are not a host and moderator team, but every edition will be a new host and moderator team to make it really inclusive. So next edition will be Leon and Jacco, yeah. Also on the team are Jacco as the curator of the Manic Saturdays after show. Safi and Hannah are in charge of publicity. Amos is in charge of documentation, and Tingy is our floor manager in charge of lunch. Woo!
Thanks, Tingy.
Also, the breakfast after club, the breakfast show, the breakfast club after show will be next edition is going to be a school-wide event, so that we have more student-to-student feedback from all different faculties. But this is next edition. So this edition it will be art science, but next edition it will be school-wide. So that's also something to look forward to. Yeah, Marta?
Yeah, so I'd like to say a couple of words about how we're going to structure the day. So we're going to start with a talk by our guest and a Q&A session until around 1 p.m. And then we'll have lunch together until 2. And then after 2, it's either possible to follow the Breakfast Club after show with all the people that are going to present. And the other possibility is that you can talk to your coaches. And Jakob will probably say more about this, right? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And also, what we would like, we all think it's great you all came here, and that it's great to see everybody live for a change. Corona is hard on everybody. Personally, I felt that I was very supported by the teachers, and that I could always talk to them when needed. And so I really also wanted to give an applause to the teachers today. And they are here. And hopefully Taco will say,
hello? Is there audio? Yes?
yes.
Great. Hello everybody, great to see you. Live from Belgrade here. I'm going to say just a few things, and the first, of course, is that it is great that this is being organized now by students, and I would like to have a big applause for the organizers, for the whole team. It's a great type of program, and it's great that most of you can be there live. Unfortunately, not me at the moment because of distance, but hopefully soon I will be also back in the country with my new family. And of course, just one thing about Corona, we can't wait until we're out of this shit. But for now, we do our best, and I think it's just good to say now I see you that it's absolutely fantastic how you're dealing with all this, because it's really difficult, we know. But anyway, the Manic Saturdays. I think it's a great program today. I think it's fantastic. But don't forget, it's great that Philip is there. Hi, Philip. It's super that he wants to give a talk. That's going to be very, very interesting. One thing now essentially to say about the Breakfast Club, which is, I think, a super initiative, and any of you who didn't go there yet, please join. You learn the most from talking to each other about each other's work, and that's a super initiative, and it's a great place now in the larger context of the Manic Saturday. Also the after show with coaching from other teachers, please use that. It's also a very good thing. And don't forget lunch, not the least. I would say I think it's a great idea to have breakfast club after lunch. Apart from that, lunch in itself is very important, and I'll be there in spirit. Last thing I would like to say, and then I think it's good to go to Philip, is there's one thing maybe to reconsider, and that is the name Manic Saturday. Well, we always thought that Manic Monday was a stupid name, now Manic Saturday. So think about maybe Satanic Saturday, or Sabbath Saturday or something, or just call it Sunday, early Sunday. But apart from this detail, it's super.
Black Sabbath.
Pardon?
Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath. I think that's a very good suggestion. Okay, let's go. As I understand, Philip is now going to start, so have a great time, have a great Saturday, and I really, really, really hope to see you all very soon live. Have a nice holiday next week, as far as you can call it a holiday, but see you soon, and enjoy today. Thank you.
Marta.
So I'll introduce Philip.
Bye.
Welcome, Philip, to our first talk. Philip is a Dutch artist based in The Hague. He's part of the Instrument Inventors Collective, graduated in 2017 from Art Science, and he's come here to talk about his work, and I really hope we have a nice discussion at the end. So, with some coffee. Welcome, Philip.
Good morning, everybody. It is a delight to be back in this school, and so much has changed here as well, especially now with the corona. Thank you so much for the team for inviting me, and it's great to see people. Even after graduation, the corona crisis is a pretty big ass shit show. But I hope everybody is in their spirit, and still floating in his energies to create and to get inspired and to inspire other people. What I now kind of feel when I'm working in the studio is that there's a lot of work and stuff needs to be done, but the kick of showing your work to other people is disappearing, and that really, really sucks. So these kinds of events that you can show your work to other people, that's almost something as an energizing battery for your soul, for your insight, and for making weird shit. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna show a little bit of work and then we can stop and talk a little bit about it. I have as well some other video clips of how the work came alive, because mostly it's just figuring out and everything is going wrong, and it's as well about trusting that you're on the good path and believe in the material you work in. And for me it is as well that somehow the material is going to make choices instead of me. Yeah, sounds a little bit weird and fake, probably, but yeah. So this was here at the KBK. This was Fan, and it's an installation which is slowly gonna do suicide. And in the end it collapses and it's like a big boom. But nevertheless, when I was testing and playing with it, there were these incredible sine waves and all these different figures. It was, wow, didn't expect that. So the next thing I kind of tried is how to make something stable. So it's not gonna do suicide anymore, but it's extremely harsh and it's gonna do weird things. And that's called 10 meters of sound. So it's elastics which are moving. So it was 10 meters of sound, and then in the end it already got transformed into SLU. And SLU is actually pretty much the same, but then with a gigantic battery of lights. So in the beginning, it's for me, it's always starting in the studio with playing around and figuring around and seeing what kind of character it has, and then slowly the installation is going to the outside world. And have a little test and see what's possible, and then making some new compositions with it. And whereas sometimes it's even better to calling it etudes. So you really start to play with the installation, and if you put it as well in kind of different context, you can do as well different things with it. For instance, in the last one was SLU, and it was for the Into the Great Wide Open show. It was outside, so it was wonderful to use lights with it, and if you use lights with it, there's the whole installation is transforming already in its character and becomes something completely different. But it's it began with the fan, and then slowly it's changing and evolving, and little sisters are born and little nephews are born with these kinds of ideas. So it's a non-stop evolution of these kinds of works. And this is called Boom Boom. Boom Boom is my graduation work, and actually I was trying to figure out how to make a composition for bouncing balls. And because I had this beautiful idea, which I still want to make, that if you have a hallway and you shoot a bouncing ball extremely fast, and what happens if you could move then the walls? Then you almost have a software engine or a DAW where you can make the sequence extremely short and you can make granular synthesis, but then in a physical way. So I've been experimenting above here with bouncing balls, and well, the bouncing ball didn't like it very much. It got shattered in 10,000s of pieces, so it's to figure out something else. So then in the end it became tennis balls. So this was Boom Boom in a pretty late stage at Berghain at the CTM festival. But let's show some works which became before that, or how it became it, because that's actually the most interesting. So this was after the bouncing balls idea with the tennis balls. So in my early youth, I was a field hockey player, and I was the goalie until the moment that the hockey team bought an electronic ball shooter machine. So at one point at the Wednesday night, we had practice with the whole team, and I was sitting in the goal, and the whole team was behind this electronic machine, and they were shooting, and because I was extremely well gifted goalie, so I could hold all the balls, and they were extremely annoyed. So they were aiming very, very low. And that didn't end too well for me. And then I had as well, I was so scared for the ball. And that was as well the end of my field hockey goalie thing. Nevertheless, the machine came out extremely handy in the end, because this was the first machine. And this was actually the principle of Boom Boom. You have a machine, you have a lot of balls, and you can shoot at something and the ball is going back. And I was doubting very much about it if I wanted to make it, because I was reading a lot and I was writing my thesis and I had a lot of theory. And well, is Boom Boom says that something about the world, or should I put it somewhere in a theory? And I have some books here, and it took me kind of a while, because I really love reading and I really love to kind of do a study. But how should that involve in my physical art practice? How do you combine these two? So let's make it physical. The books are here, and all the podcasts, everything you read and everything you consume, all the intelligence, knowledge. And then kind of here is my own practice, and I was kind of dealing with it for how should I deal with that, because it kind of feels far away. And I want to hold those books actually while I'm working somehow. But it doesn't work, because if I try to do that, if I try to combine it one-on-one, I would never make something like this. I would kind of have one idea and the idea is fixed, because that's how the theory is going, because there's almost already an end result in it. And I was at Sonic X Festival, I think, and Koki was there, and everybody is at day 2 is already really tired, because it's clubbing until 5-6 in the morning, and then there's this harsh hardcore theory happening at Paradiso, and everybody's half asleep, half awake, and they're just spitting out knowledge into you. But I think I learned my lesson there, and that is to, how do you say that? That you trust your brain somehow. So the information can come in, you should read everything, and you should read a lot, watch a lot of films, and then just keep it in the mind. And then somehow, somewhere, it starts to do as well something while you're making stuff, and it's not becoming one-on-one anymore. It becomes more a kind of a fluid, dynamic, strange, wonderful thing. Good morning. And then in the end, if you make a lot of work, then for me it's time to reflect, and then you can see, did this, they're interweaving. Oh, wonderful. I can see that and this is a combination of certain things, and I can see a kind of an autograph on everything which I'm doing. And then you can go kind of psychologiseren. How do you say that in English? You can go even that far, and you kind of see certain ways and certain interests of what you're doing. But for me, it worked very well not to be that much one-on-one with theory and what the artwork is about and what it should be, because that's as well two things: the experience of the artwork and what it becomes, and they're not having the same timeline. for instance, when I made Flop Flop, which I will show you in a second, it starts to, when it was finished and when it was playing a lot of time, I kind of knew what it was about. So that's as well something to have to do with trusting the installation and trusting yourself in it. And I think, I don't know if I think, actually. Let's go to the next one.
What do you think it's about now?
Well, there's of course a lot of interesting subjects where you can put it in. So it's a kind of a choreography. It can dance, and because you have a couple of parameters, you can control it with. So, in the sense of art, there are a couple of artworks which from the Zero Art movement who have as well these kind of very nice and elegant curtains, and they're flittering and floating around. So that's one in art history. It's kind of a lineage from the Zero Art thing. But I guess it's as well has to do a lot about the aesthetic and the fear, and there's this thing which called it's a container box. It's called the Sublime. For me, the Sublime has all these kind of parameters. So it's, if you're standing in front of it, it's extremely attractive, and it's on the beginning it's funny, and it's dancing and it's fluttering. But in the end, it becomes extremely dead serious, because it's going so fast that that for me, my own little I, or whatever the I is, or your soul, is sucked out. So you stop thinking, and it's as if it's a mind-altering dance somehow. And yeah, the meaning of that, I'll keep that to myself. You shouldn't say everything here. But I think it's, if you guys have questions, let's pop them up extremely fast so we can have a conversation about it. I like to write as well a lot about the works, and as well if I make a composition, I write a kind of a children's story, so it's about the characters of the thing, and I keep that extremely to myself, and most of the time, for me it works very well to sit around in the corner on a carpet, and I have my little stifts, and then I start drawing things, and then somehow I become so extremely childish that it becomes very much fun. And the narrative is extremely simplified. And because of that, I can use it as well in my parameters. And if other people see it, they see something completely different. And that's perfect. So that's a little bit on how I play and compose with it. And these are the series. This was in the Amstel Park, and before was in Stedelijk Schiedam. And it's there has been, of course, so many experimentations, starting with Dan Flavin and the Children of Light and the whole school, and in contemporary electronic music, the TL light is a very big thing. Nevertheless, they make it very much sterile, very much, oh, look at this beautiful light. And at this moment of time, there's something changing, and that is that everything is becoming LED light. So these lights we were seeing, they're dying, they're passing away. And the idea actually was to start to have a library of TL lights, and so I can keep these pretty sounds, because these sounds are so wonderful. It's like if you're on the Swiss Alps, and it's so clear, and ding ding ding, and at the same time the whole light itself becomes kind of a boombox, and makes this very sticky, masculine, old wop 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 wop. And this is a sound which is disappearing. So the idea was actually to have 500 or 600 of these, and then put them in one room and put them on. And nevertheless, due to Corona, it never happened. And in my studio, there were laying around something like 400 of them. And I got rid of them. So this whole project is kind of didn't see the daylight. But smaller versions came to light.
It feels like an island of color and sound without a destination.
You don't feel like you're somewhere anymore. It's like you're totally in the world of the visuals.
It's like a tsunami of color and light and sound, and the floor is moving and the curtains sort of move back and forth, and it makes you lose every concept of space and time.
I have never experienced something like this before.
I am Lucas van der Velde. I'm the director of Sonic Acts.
This work is called More. I was asked to do a big show at the W139, which is an art space in Amsterdam. And here at the KBK, I was already very much interested in Moiré, so Moiré 1 I made here actually, and it's for me it really had to do that if you're in a closed space with only Moiré, where would you go? Where would you be? How much patterns would you physically could you handle, and where's the border, and what happens if you go over the border, and what happens if you put so much light in it that you're that in your experience that you're dissolving, that you're melting away to wherever you are. And the W139 has a big hole, something like this, but then flat whites everywhere. So the idea was to make one gigantic Ganzfeld in there, to play around with the curtains. And I had the opportunity to test it before. And I did that in Weesp at the Domein. And the wonderful thing was there they said, you probably need some other production people with it. Let me first check where it is. Here. So I could make a small little or a gigantic big test over there, and the people of Sonic X knew about what I was doing, and they said, hey, we want to help, and let's try to make it big. So we made a proposal for the Dutch Film Fund, and we made a lot of beautiful drawings and made some clips about how the moray is interacting with the people. And somehow in October the Film Fund said, yes, let's do this. And then we started to go into production in November, and it had to be finished in February last year. So that then it got premiered. But the thing with Moray is it's such a gigantic production, and if you're in it, it's amazing. But setting it up is extremely time sensitive, and therefore as well very expensive. So what we did before was making so many tests with the light that I could almost do a whole study beforehand without setting it up. And now I'm doing a residency at SML Studios, and now we're working in a way that we don't have to set up the installation, but that we can, in a virtual way, can test all the lights, so that that we can build all the parameters already within it. And these are some very early tests. So this is actually what you see inside of the installation. And the whole idea was actually not to use any stroboscopic light. But in the end, this was in Weesp. In the end, the stroboscope worked extremely well. And that is because if you're inside of the installation, you have all these patterns and you have all these blips and blocks everywhere. And what's happens if you have a after image is, of course, that you see as well kind of a block. So in the end, for the Sonic X composition, I was doing my extremely childish thing, and I was somewhere in the corner writing this kind of a semi-composition, or what the moray wanted. Because if you're inside of the installation, the patterns, they want something from you, and what could it be? So what would I do if I was a pattern, and you guys would be there? So I thought about it as if it is a virus, and then slowly when you move, then it starts to move as well. And then in the installation, there's above there's this machinery, so it can move by itself. So then suddenly, as a viewer, you don't have control anymore about the moire, and they start to behave and they become together live. And then there's all these interesting lights, and these lights help you actually to have no depth anymore. So you're kind of waving away already, and it's extremely hard if you only see moire and you don't see any depth. And if the light is already normal, you start to have all these wonderful experience of having little hallucinations because your eyes cannot hold up anymore and your brain does not know how to function. And then slowly, of course, the pulsing is starting and the strobing is starting and the sound is pretty rough and harsh. And yeah, then suddenly there's this weird play of things you have in your eyes and in yourself, in your brain, and things you see in the outside world, and it's completely melting away, and it's kicking out every border there is. And that's something I really enjoy. And this is now a project I've been working on as well for a pretty long time. So I first made a lot of tests actually, and actually what I now want to do with this work So I made a lot of tests with the material, and it really looks extremely beautiful, and it's going to the kitschy side of it actually, because it's so attractive and beautiful, and it's all these wonderful phenomena of stroboscopic interference, and then starts to rotate again, and it starts to rotate so fast that it's standing still. And I tried to follow what the installation wanted actually, and the first choices of the material was extremely wrong. So they were, they exploded a couple of times. So now I am working with carbon fiber, and hopefully that will help. But the speed. That's something what the material really did not want it, but I really want, because if it's speeding up around 1500 rotations a minute, it's already like, oh, wonderful, such a beautiful thing. But if you rotate it to 2000, it becomes scary, and if you pump it up to 2500, it becomes scary, and if it's at 3000, you don't want to be there. So composition-wise, I thought it would be a very good idea to have this thing around 1500. But it should go as well to 3000, because otherwise you will have a shitty composition. Because it's like, very beautiful. But there should be something dangerous with it. It should have consequences. If you're at the space with the installation, if you put your hand in it, your whole arm is out of it. And that element of danger is very important to me, because these phenomena, they're so pretty and so much as well in your brain, but it would be even better if it's really physical. And that happened a lot of times. It was a very expensive day at the office. If you guys have questions, let me know. It's a very hard question. It's never finished, actually. Because there on one hand there are as well installations, and in the other hand there are as well instruments. So if the installation is finished, then you start to compose with it, actually. So most of the times for every exhibition there's a new composition or a new thing or a new element in it. Nevertheless, if somebody buys it, then it's gone, actually. So that's the only rule. It's clearly not finished. I can show you something. I just made this work. And friends of mine could do the opening of the Rotterdamse tunnel. And in the end, some artworks got cancelled, and they asked me if I wanted to do something extra. 10 meters of sound was going there already. So I always had in my brain to have a new kind of a flap-flap, a new sister or a new brother of flap-flap. So that's this work. So this is actually more like a test because it works. The things are doing everything, or there are so many parameters that it becomes interesting. And it worked well in the tunnel. Nevertheless, this is really not finished because you could put this on Q Dance Festival or something, and everybody would be happy. But if we could get rid of this and all the lights, I think in the end you will see it better. The parameters are, or the beauty in the installation is at the low stuff. That takes a little bit of time. Yeah, I think it comes in around here when it's slower and when the light is not that flickering that much. The whole fabric is way more mysterious, and it starts to look like all kinds of wonderful things. So here the beauty is more. So now it becomes something else. But sometimes it can be handy if friends are calling and they have money to make a gigantic work and they pay for everything, and you get a fee, and then you hold it back, and after a couple of weeks you start replaying with it, and then it becomes really something. So that's, we had this course, and it's called Quick and Dirty. That's the best works out of the studio are if they are made in 5 minutes or so, and just a little test, and it's works. Then you can put a light on it, and it works even better. I guess that's a little bit how it goes in the studio. So this is an unfinished work.
And where does it start? What's the beginning of a new installation?
And the beginning of a new installation is lays mostly in the in one hand mostly on making a work, and they're kind of different units of time when making a work, and mostly in playing and figuring out how something works. Then there are so many different ideas and so many ways you can go. So for example, this I made already a couple of years ago, building Flop Flop. So then I know that it's there and it sticks in my brain, and then when time, space and money comes together, I can go further with it. Nevertheless, as well, when I'm meditating, sometimes I meditate because it should be sometimes quiet in here. But whenever I'm meditating, and me, then I get in this nice, calm space. And then suddenly there's like, this is a brilliant idea. And then, yeah, sometimes it is, and sometimes it's not. And sometimes I now have a kind of a machinery which keeps all my notes at one place. And whenever I'm in the right setting and in the right mood, I can sit on the couch and start drawing without thinking, and then suddenly there are some different ideas. But for me, making ideas are on one hand extremely practical, so out of the physicality of working in the studio and playing around and noodling around and making sure that there's a lot of garbage in the studio, so you can work in a very intuitively way. And on the other hand, it's just ideas. So I think it's both. And thinking about ideas, for me, it's extremely important, as I said before, that I'm in the right mind and in the right space. So a little bit of meditation, putting on some candles and behaving like a child and sitting under my bed and just making drawings and making sure that all the borders in my head and of nagging are away, because sometimes I really had that I was making ideas and that somewhere in my brain was like, this is a stupid idea, and that is really killing my own creativity, actually. So if I'm completely borderless, and I do this without any drugs or alcohol. So don't think that the drugs and alcohol are in any way good to get in this state of mind. Sometimes it is, of course, but mostly it's not. So it's as well having this kind of a training with yourself, and it's extremely, how do you say, precious to get in your head and in your own richful forest of ideas. And then sometimes it's as well extremely well to get into your own void and to get lost, because somehow they are as well kind of connected. I don't know. Yeah.
I wonder what something actually linked to this. You have people working for you in your studio, right? How do they help you? Because I think when you work with other people, you can observe them manipulating material. Does this influence you? How does you kind of have to give them tasks? Does this get you out of your creative mode? Like, what's the relationship you have with them? What's the creative relationship?
Well, sometimes it's so busy that I cannot do everything myself, or all the time I cannot do it all by myself, actually, because they're big works and they're extremely complex to make. So I have a lot of friends and a lot of wizards around me who help me, and I think with every one of them I share some passion at some kind of thing. For instance, I have a guy working for me or with me, and he's extremely technical, and he's reading data sheets on Saturday afternoon because he really enjoys it. I really dig that of him, and I find it so extremely fascinating that he gets so deep in it. Nevertheless, on the aspect of creativity, I cannot really not work with him, and I should be as well kind of scared of him because everything should be safe and it should be like this, shish. How do you say? Well, he's like the really into the data and really safe, etc., etc. But for me and for the artworks, it's not good to be in that kind of a realm. So I have to step aside and do something else. And the thing now actually is that I became last year I became as well kind of a manager. And that's as well something which I can do. I studied production at the Film Academy, but as well I'm complete chaos. So in the end, it's not very fruitful. But I think that's as well something you have to go through, and I'm learning how to deal with that. And it's really not easy. It's extremely complicated, because if somebody else is welding, then yeah, if somebody else is welding, it's maybe even better than my own weld, and it doesn't feel like it belongs to me. Nevertheless, in the end, I don't really care because it has to be finished. So a deadline is then as well extremely handy, because there's no time to have these extremely micro thoughts about the work. Yeah. It's my we're having a family here in the media art world.
Yeah. He said also something about that. But he has a question. Maybe it was, but he asked, how the fuck did you get Boom Boom in the clock in Berlin?
That was his question. Well, I didn't do anything. I was invited to do it. It's starting to have something. No, the echo is gone. I was asked by Today's Art to have Boom Boom at their festival, and some of the festivals have a big network. So the festival itself, it might not be that interesting, but there are so many curators and other people or other sister partners of the festival coming, so it becomes interesting to put it there. Sometimes especially when you begin, the payment is extremely shitty. Nevertheless, I did it, and then the guys of CTM Festival asked me, well, we think we have a nice space for setting up Boom Boom. What do you think about Berghain? I was like, yes, why not? Good work, yeah, fun. And for this example of Berghain, the space of Halle am Bergheim is so gigantic that it really ruins Boom Boom. Because when Boom Boom was here at gallery space, the space is so small and Boom Boom is so big that you really feel the danger, and you had to be very close to the installation, and you would smell the rubber of the tennis balls, and you could be so close to the balls that you really hear it when you were close on it. But at Berghain, it's so big and the space is much thicker and cooler than the installation itself. So I thought the only way to change this is to put the lights out. And therefore as well in Berghain we used stroboscopic lights for the installation. So as well sometimes the space asks to change the installation. To get back on your question, when is an installation finished? Sometimes the space says, I'm very, very big, deal with me. So then you have to enlarge it or make it smaller, or trying to figure that out. Yeah, it's all the time. It's extremely annoying. But for me, the annoying thing is that one idea is good, and then you're working on this one idea, and then it's evolving to something else already, which is good. But I write everything down and put it in one big jar, and then once in a while when I have a crisis, because then I think I don't have any ideas anymore, I don't know if I'm going to be, and I check out the jar, and it's like, okay, I'm okay for the next couple of years. Nevertheless, it's sometimes as well interesting, or the organization of thoughts is then for me very problematic, because I'm not that well structured, and as well in my thinking is not that structured. But it's okay. Then the ideas are coming back. If it's not this day, then it's within a week.
Do you ever stay with an idea for the sake of saying?
Yeah, I think for Tilt I stayed a little bit too long with it, but that had to do as well with an exhibition what got which kept on postponing, and in the end the whole exhibition got killed. So I think for that one I stayed in it too long, and Fen is boring me out because of the material. Been working on that now for over 2.5 years now. And now I came up with the brilliant idea of making an algorithm for it, so that you can compose, or you can start playing with it, because it looks as well like a Pokemon ball or kind of an animal. And I thought, it would be so nice to have a kind of a training machine, so that the machinery can really take over. And then I have as well made this little jump from performative installations to organistic installations, who can perform themselves. So I guess it will take another half year. Yeah. And yeah, sometimes I really do stuff I don't really want, but then in the end it kind of pays off. But that has to do as well that I can get bored extremely fast with installations.
Well, I think we should get into the break phase. If anybody wants some questions, people stay around with us at least for the break.
Yeah, for lunch. Yeah. Free lunch. Good.
After the lunch, we have the Manic Saturday after show, which Jacco will elaborate on. And we also have the Breakfast Club in PA 007009 with 3 different performance presentations. So after the break, we maybe see each other here, but then we also can go to both spaces. Jacco, do you quickly want to say a little bit about?
What might be handy for you to decide now, Aldo, or maybe Hannah's here, what time that performance is going to take place? Because the rest can be walking, but it's good to...
I think if Hannah can start at 2.
At 2? We do it with Max, so... Yes. Yeah.
If Hannah can... Three. Okay, who wants to start at 2:10 with a presentation or a performance? No.
I'm just setting up. As far I don't know about you, as far as Amos, it's more for walking.
Yeah, Farah is more for. Okay, I think we just need a break now, and then we will all be back here at 2:10, and then we will know.
So, and then for what's going to happen here, I'm inviting. I see that now also more teachers have arrived, so that's really great. The teachers that want to do some coach surfing or have some talk to students, they could potentially stay here, as also not to clutter the space. Because here we can have 24 people, and in the gathering space we can only have 16 people. So at first we start here, and we let's say slowly rotate towards the breakfast club, that will be really great. And I'll also set up a Zoom meeting with Marion and with Robert. They will also join us through the cyberspace.
Cool.
All right, let's eat people. Let's not eat people, but let's eat people.
Ik vond het echt cool. Ik vind het heel fijn om de processen zo veel meer... Ik heb natuurlijk voor jou gewerkt en ik was zwaar onder de indruk van jou natuurlijk. Had je misschien niet door, maakt niet uit. Maar in ieder geval...
Dat is nu helemaal weggevallen, hè?
Helemaal weggevallen.
Ik
was zwaar onder de indruk, stiekem. Maar het is heel cool nu inderdaad... je proces is heel anders dan ik dacht eigenlijk of zo. Het is echt wel heel...
Wat fijn.
Cool. Hallo?
Ik denk cool, hoe dacht je dan dat het proces ging?
Nou, weet ik niet. Ja, dat weet ik niet. Maar... Yeah. We all go outside now, yeah. Je wou nog een presentatie geven.
Misschien kan ik dat druipdingetje neerzetten, maar ik weet niet, ik vond me af hoe serieus het was. Ik dacht, ik kan het gewoon neerzetten.